I'm sure there are other people in my stance when I say this. But why the fuck is my heat still on and it's May 5th? It is May 5th. You heard that? It just went off. Okay. Today is slightly cloudy, slightly rainy, but we are in May, right? My heat has been on this week still. I should at least get 3 weeks of window, maybe a fan. But my heat is still running. Okay? And money ain't on trees, like the saying goes. And I'm not getting no breaks on turning off my heater. Now, a given, I do get the ease of working from home, but at that cost, though, I'm still running my heat. Whereas, yeah, I would love to be able to run up the heat in an office, but at the same time, the heat in the office be on too much. And I be kind of frustrated on what do I wear, because if I get dressed to be in the office, I got to dress in layers so I could take it off because the heat is mass controlled and I'm going to be hot and I'm going to be there all fucking day and I'm going to be in traffic and my day is like completely taken away when I'm in the office. But at the same time, I could be at home and be in my bra and panties, but now I'm in men's long johns, a t-shirt, and thick socks, and I took it off and then it's getting cold again and now I want to put them back on. When do I get to pay less money for utilities because the season needs to change? Welcome to She Gets a Pod. This is just a vent. Hey. Thanks to the intense cold air of the Great Lakes and Appalachian Mountains, it feels more like fall in May. And I am in Georgia, so what's up? Because I want to fight. Okay? My gas bill in this house is $91.84. With tax, it's going to be $94. I could have used that $94 at the grocery store. I could have used that $94 to do stuff with these kids because they be getting on my nerves. There's other things that I can use those $94 on. So what's up? Because I want to fight. And the reason I'm having this discussion is because I was watching Congress people yesterday be fucking childish in this courtroom, mind you, debate whether they should make interest rates go up to 28% to balance out the inflation and the prices and the job losses that's about to happen, right? Because they're still happening, okay? I'm not going to say 6, that's kind of drastic. 5 out of 10 people will know a bit of 3 people that they know that have lost their jobs, okay? So that's what it's looking like. But it says for Georgia, because that's where I am. I can't speak for where you are. Do your own research. It says Georgia temperatures will be between 44 degrees and 64 degrees for most of the month. At least half of the month, okay? Ooh. I thought April was supposed to be the rainy month, but it's May. So that means June is going to be slightly warm, but not hot. It means July will be like June. And August is going to be more like July. September is barely going to get cool. So it's like we really getting our summer stolen. Okay, that's what it looks like. And my thing also with the Congress people yesterday is they were talking about, why do the government go out their way to pay people to have electric cars, give them tax cuts? What's so great about it if we have to give them a tax cut for getting an electric car? Why isn't everybody getting an electric car? Bitch, because how many plug-in stations are there when it comes to gas stations? There's not a lot. Okay? There's not a lot of companies who have cars giving them out like hotcakes at a great rate. And there's not a lot of people that can pay a fucking car note right now to have an electric car. Them shits ain't cheap. And if people don't really have jobs, it's common sense shit that can be calculated in the mind of someone that did not go to school for that calculation to be like, okay, this is why the government is allowed to give people a tax cut for having electric cars. Because, yeah, it is better for the environment. But at the same time, most of the people in the United States cannot afford to miss a check. That's the reality of it, right? But you can't care halfway and then turn around and be like, but let's focus on the jobs that we're going to miss. What? Why are y'all talking in circles? And I feel like a lot of what the Congress people was talking about yesterday is an afterthought because y'all should have been preventative with this fucking money. But instead of y'all was throwing money at Russia, y'all was throwing money for the past 3 years at the military. And I still don't know what the fuck they're doing over there. Do you? The average salary of someone who works in Congress is $250,800. And y'all in there acting like 8-year-olds. And y'all in there being passive aggressive with the expectation of this whole country. Who the fuck hired y'all? And when do y'all go in for your 3 months, 6 months evaluation of how well you're doing your job? Because I feel like a lot of people in Congress, their job can only be held by them for a certain term, like 5 years. You can't be sitting in there for 15, 20 years making decisions for people who will surpass you in your death. That's wicked. So in the hearing yesterday, somebody brought up that Amazon doesn't pay taxes. I was like, that's impossible. So I did my research. And it says Amazon pays all the taxes it's required to pay in the U.S. and every country where it operates, including corporate tax and tax expense. Okay? However, in 2018, Amazon received a federal tax refund of $129 million due to tax credits and deductions. I think taxes is a fucking game, and the rich know how to play it so they can keep their money. And I think the people who get upset are the people who have never seen that much money, will never see that much money, and don't understand how you use taxes as a billionaire. Okay, so as far as like what we are doing to Earth, does it need to be better? Yes. Has it always needed to be better? Yes. Have you really put a dent in anything? No. So yeah, overpopulation can impact the environment. Duh. You know, not enough places to put people because people are what? Greedy. If people stop being greedy and just sitting on empty, vacant spaces of housing, then maybe people will be able to get the hell out the way so the earth doesn't go to shit. But, you know, people are greedy. It is all about, you know, making money. Pollution, trash, the way we just buy things cheaply just to throw it out, not to take care of it over a period of time. The way we just overuse shit for no reason. You sent me this big ass box with all this plastic in it and paper and foam just for this one little thing, this one little product. Why? Why would you do that? The animals have nowhere to go. Y'all don't take the damn animals out of the woods before y'all start knocking down trees and building up shit. Then people end up driving to work on a normal morning and hitting a bear or hitting a deer because they're running out of spaces to be. And then what does that do? Make the insurance rate go up. So you're just making ways for people to spend more money because you're not being proactive? Stupid ass. We also have like the acid levels in the ocean destroying fish and marine life on rate that shit. By the time my children possibly have children, there won't be any fish in that hole. Okay? What Beyonce say? Cause I'm in that hole. Okay? There won't be no fish in there, and that's disgusting. And we've all seen the ocean with trash on it. Like, water pollution is at an all-time high. Why? Because corporations choose to use what's easiest and cost efficient for them instead of worrying about the fucking environment. You can't worry about your product being in certain plastics or containers that are not biodegradable after you done put them on a million bajillion shelves. Because I'm going to tell you this, people don't care. The people at the bottom who are purchasing your shit, they don't give a fuck where their trash goes. So, government-wise, the conversation should be between these companies and the government to make sure we don't get that shit. Like, the conversation is not between the people that are at home watching the news. The conversation should be between the government and these corporations and what products they're using before they get into boxes to be shipped to stores. But that's my whole point. It's like this circle rotation of y'all really don't give a fuck. Y'all really are not preventative. Y'all really don't want to make sure y'all are using the proper items that are beneficial to the people or the environment. Y'all are focused on lining your fucking pockets. Because when you line your fucking pockets with whatever salary that you don't fucking need, you have the option to move wherever you want to on this globe and not have to deal with a certain country's bullshit that you allow to be perpetuated among people. So when I watch shit like this, I'm just like, dog, they don't give a fuck. They just want to be the one to say this and that while they're on camera. They're trying to paint this picture like I'm important. What I have to say is important. Look how I say this. Like, there was so much bullshit being said yesterday with Congress in that conference that I'm just like, why are you talking about shit from like 100 BC? Why is this in conversation? Let's focus on the fact that y'all was bullshitting. One of them said it. I can't remember his name. He was like, let's be honest. We should be embarrassed. He said we should be embarrassed as a nation of people to be in here having these discussions that we should have had months or years ago. And that's how I feel about this fucking government. Y'all sit in these seats behind these chairs with y'all fucking papers and y'all snotty ass attitudes and y'all $1,000 suits to talk about the fact that, oh yeah, we did fuck up. We did make a mess and we didn't clean it up. But let's talk about how bad the mess is. And I'm going to tell you that the people out here that are working, that are trying to make ends meet, that are trying to do their best for their families and their kids and trying to have some sort of future that makes sense so they're not working until the casket drops. We don't give a fuck about you telling us how bad y'all made some shit. We're concerned with how the fuck you're going to fix it with the fucking salaries and bonuses you've been given. Like, let's be honest. The American government y'all have been a joke to many countries. Your education system, your financial system, your banking system, your housing system, your prison system is just a cover-up for slavery, legally. So let's be honest. All of the factory jobs, the jobs that really gave generations of families money, y'all done have shipped out to other countries. So that's not here. Then y'all have so many corporate jobs here that are being taken and deleted from companies because it's not needed because y'all got AI now. So honestly, America is going to keep selling shit and putting shit in places where it's not going to be purchased, because how the fuck are people supposed to pay for it when they don't have jobs here that are paying them the money to be able to afford paying for it, you dumbass? Instead of adding to the solution, you're adding to the problem. And by no means, I don't feel like technology is dumb. I don't feel like technology is dumb. I think it's smart. I think we need it, but there needs to be a balance in it. The more we use technology, the more advanced that it gets, we are eliminating our own human purpose. We are eliminating our options. If you go to most Walmarts, if it's in your area still, because a lot of them are closing. If you go to most Walmarts, a lot of Walmarts are just electric self-registers. And they have workers, probably like 2 workers per section, to make sure you're not stealing nothing and make sure nothing fucks up on the computer. But they're basically saying we don't need human cashiers anymore. We have these machines because we have enough millions and billions of dollars, the Waltons, to be able to have machines over people. Now, mind you, Walmart is also a company that takes out insurance policies on their employees. So whether you sick, whether you working while you old, they don't give a fuck, because whether you're here or not, we gonna collect. You know what I'm saying? Somebody come in here and shoot it up, we're gonna collect. So when I think about this government and I think about me as a human being, as a U.S. citizen, I know I'm in a pawn suit. I'm a pawn. I'm not important to this country. I'm not important to this government. I'm not important to be protected. And I'm not even going to get into the shit show that is ignorant people talking about women and men. Like, are y'all tired of that conversation? Like, we know certain shit is certain shit, but if you're not coming with a solution, are you not tired of that conversation about men against women? Are you not tired of that conversation about black men don't and black women don't and black women say they don't need? But the reality is, out of all that shit, I don't give a fuck what the topic is, women today are only a reflection of how they saw their mothers, their aunties, their cousins, and people in their family being treated by men of yesterday. Men today are the little boys that were raised primarily by their moms and did not have great male figures around. I'm not going to say they didn't have male figures around, but they weren't great. They weren't setting them up to excel and really champion some shit. Some of them, not all. So, of course, the 30-year-olds or 40-year-olds today that are men and women, we're fucking up. We're fucking up. We're struggling to get shit correct. You know what I'm saying? And all of it is a problem. All of it is a problem on how our children are being raised. All of it is a problem on how we respect each other. We show up for each other. We work together. And I'm going to tell you about this AI shit. It is going to be AI against humankind. It's going to get there. So if you don't know shit about unity now, if you don't know shit about working together now, it's going to be harder later when you have to. They already got robot police dogs in New York. They would rather put their money behind a machine than to make sure a human being protects another human being and has income coming in for their families. That's it. And if you don't think that shit is going to snowball into your occupation, you're kidding yourself. You're playing yourself. So all the plumbers, all the mechanics, all the people who really have a skill with their hands that they learned over a period of time, hey, those are the people that you need to be making sure you know and you have access to. Okay? This computer shit is cool to know, but at the same time, if a machine can do it, they don't need you. If a machine can type it, they don't need you. If a machine can recall certain dates, times, money spent, they don't need a human being in that hole to run that shit. The job that I do, if my company that I work for says we're going to go ahead and allow AI, Amazon's AI, because Amazon does make a lot of money with companies doing chats, monitoring chats and giving chat options to a lot of companies. If they said, oh, we're going to do that instead of you do it, you just focus on this is going to be your job now, and because this is less invasive, we're going to pay you less, then I'm automatically in a hole unless I can find another skill that I have where I'm physically, mentally needed. That's the reality that we living in. But yet we have a government that's sitting talking about, well, what are we going to do about all these people losing jobs? Y'all never gave people the skills to not be stuck in this technology war. Why are we now making it mandatory in some states for children to understand financial wording? That should have been a class when I had home ec. Fuck making a pizza from scratch. How do I balance a checkbook? How does taxes work? What is an IRA? What's the benefit of me having this account versus that account? Americans do shit too late and they look around for someone to fix it. That's how this shit be going. So when people be like, oh, America's the greatest country in the world. No, we're not. No, we're not. We're like a confident loser in the mix of countries and how they're running shit. Americans are looked at as a confident, ignorant loser to other countries because we talk about shit after the fact. If I got in an accident because I wasn't checking my tires, I didn't give a fuck about my brakes, and I got into the accident and I done killed somebody or fucked up 10 cars, I don't want to have multiple conversations with different people talking about how that could have been prevented if I just blank, blank, blank. Who gives a fuck? How am I going to fix what I ruined? And that's the conversation that needs to be had by our government. But instead, they're sitting in there getting paid millions of dollars to bullshit. That's it. And I'm over it. I'm over it. Like, there's a reason why I don't sit and watch the news continuously like my parents and my grandparents did. Okay? People are not overfishing because they want to buy a whole bunch of fish for no reason. They want to make money on a whole bunch of fish for no reason. They need fucking income. There are rules for a lot of countries where people live, in villages where people live, where there is illegal for them to go into an ocean that is not owned by anybody and get fish to eat and feed their families at a certain time of the week and a certain time of the day. That's greed. That's sickening. But that is United States. Okay? That is also other countries trying to own some shit that's not their shit. Trying to dictate how people eat, sleep, care for themselves, can provide for themselves. And don't get me on wanting to own some shit that's yours. They make it so hard for you to own some shit that's yours, or have your own company, or tax you for the fact that you have payroll and employees. How the fuck you taxing me because I have employees and I have to do payroll? It's wicked. And then I don't know about you, but I sit here and I'm just like, you know what? It's looking like crime pays. It's looking like crime pays, and people that do crime make sense to me. Because when you try to do it correctly, you end up in a hole and getting 25 cents out of the 200% you put in. After the government cuts what they want to cut out of what you're doing for yourself, the skills you're building for yourself, the jobs that you're providing for other people around you that are also skilled, they turn around and they tell you how much you can take home. So, I don't know. I don't know, why the conversation is what the conversation is. I don't know why we have to focus on deforestation, being damaging to the environment, but yet y'all still signing these people's loans to go ahead and cut down these fucking trees and have this land. So are you for it or are you not for it? Are you trying to prevent it, or are you just like, let's just say this because it sounds good? Let's just do this because it sounds good. Y'all don't give a fuck about Earth. Stop telling me to bring in my own bag when you're still selling plastic bags. Stop telling me to be eco-friendly when Amazon is giving me an option to get my shit today, when I can get everything I ordered one time in one big ass box. It shouldn't be an option is what I'm saying. It should be like, bitch, you don't need this right now. You will get this in about 10 to 12 days, all in one box. Thank you for your order. Stop giving people options on if they give a fuck, and start making decisions being in your position for people to do shit a certain way. It's just like kids. If I want my kids to have healthier options, I'm not going to tell them you can have soda, water, a salad, or a greasy fries that is processed, nuggets with ammonia in it, or you could just eat this box of candy tonight and not have to eat dinner. They're not getting no unhealthy options if I want them to be better. That should be common sense to me. But anyway, I just needed to vent. Thank you for listening to me. My name is Shan. You can find me at shanbpodden.com. This is She Gets It Pod. And be safe. Enjoy your Cinco de Mayo. Enjoy your Friday. And stop being worried about shit people don't give a fuck about. Because it's just it's wasted energy. It's stress we don't need. Period.
Things I do every day to be more eco-friendly. Use a bamboo toothbrush and natural toothpaste. Use barred soap without a container. Use sample products first. Reusable makeup wipes and sponges. Bamboo Q-tips or a reusable Q-tip. Use rock salt deodorant with no plastic. Cut tubes to use all the product. Reuse glass containers for my plants. Use a reusable water bottle. Properly store my recycle. Compost food waste and other organic materials. Grow my own vegetables and foods. Return cans. Store produce in water and other ways to keep it fresher for longer. Freeze overripe berries for smoothies. Wash and dry plastic bags. Use natural sunlight instead of the lights. Use cloth napkins instead of paper. Collect rainwater for my plants. Thrift my clothes or get them secondhand. Remove plastic film from letters, cardboard boxes, and tissue boxes. Eat plant-based products. Go to my local farmer's market for eggs and other produce. Use eco-friendly alternatives to everyday products.
And yeah, I am one of those people whose grandma was like, we living in our last days. We are living in our last days. And like 95, early 96. I want to say she passed in 96. So I'm saying this to say, like, nobody knows when their quote-unquote last days is. You know what I'm saying? You could have 2 legs today and have 1 leg tomorrow because of some freak accident. You never know. What are you doing right now to make it better? And that's all I want people to think. Like, what can you do proactively right now to really separate shit I really need and shit I just want just because wanting something and having it fulfills this hole in me temporarily until I want something else. That's it.